What's a name brand item you refuse to replace with a generic? Crayola crayons. Generic tastes funny. Must be a Marine. This is a list of post-apocalyptic high-value trades. Stock up now before it's too late. Post-its. All knockoffs don't stick. They are horrible. A lot of quality in 3M products in general from my perspective, and it's in so much you don't even know. Airplane, we make a tape that literally holds wings together. Teeth, we make a toothpaste and a buttload of stuff for fillings and crowns. Phones, we make films that you will never see unless you break your phone in half. Medical tech, we make things that they stick to you for EKGs and measuring your vitals. Oh, and N95 masks, which until the pandemic, the company store would basically give them away for like 10 for $1. Lego. No rivals have comparable quality, including the quality of satisfaction when someone accidentally steps on them. Ah yes, the Lego brand Caltrops. Evidently, it's not trademarked anymore, but trampoline used to be a brand name. Even if it weren't, I'd refuse to call them rebound tumblers. Data storage. If I lose years of photographs, it will be because of my own negligence, not because I saved $8 on an SD card. Don't save all your photographs in one place. If it's too important to lose, it's too important to have in only one medium. This. I back up photos in 4 places. Also a professional photographer. I lost all of my oldest child's pictures of his first, other than what was posted on social media, to a hard drive crashing. I won't make that mistake again. This is pretty specific, but Scotch commercial grade packing tape. The Uline tape is terrible. Also duct tape. The only other one that can compare is Gorilla Tape. Gaff tape is better, but I ain't trying to go broke on tape. Q-tip. I've tried others and they suck. Then I'm stuck with like 2,000 crappy cotton swabs. Yeah, Q-tip is a guarantee of quality. I've had a few good generics, but way more crap generics. Anything with a hollow plastic tube can just GTFO. Yeah, screw those plastic core ones. If I wanted to use a wet noodle, I would. Nilla wafers. The off-brand versions tend to be flavored differently and they leave a funny aftertaste. I've never had off-brand Nilla wafers because the original is just the best. I will say, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I like them when they're stale. They are softer, but still have a delicious taste. Mini Nilla wafers are bomb as hell too. Growing up black? Well, I'm still black, but I also grew up black. I used to notice my white and Asian friends' houses would smell so good on laundry day. My house never smelled like that. Come to find out, pretty much all of my friends and family use Tide. At my house, we used some cheap generic stuff. So somehow in my childlike brain, I started to connect Tide with success. It wasn't until my late 20s that I finally got a job where I can easily afford the way more expensive Tide brands, and to this day it's all I buy. Smells like nostalgia. This gave me a good chuckle. Reminded me of Mitch Hedberg. I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to, too. 3M command strips. Do you know what 3M stands for? Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. Their products are in everything. Do they just own Minnesota? I would love to find out who manufactures the napkins sold to places like Domino's so I could then order a nuclear strike on their factories. I don't understand the purpose of napkins that don't work as napkins. I get about 784 of them every time that I order pizza, and their only use is to soak up liquid. They don't work for wiping hands or any other surface. In a pinch, you could probably use the edge of one as a blade. Go to Spain. Try a napkin. I'm convinced their economy sucks because their napkins are so crappy. It's essentially wax paper. Total waste of resources. Dawn dish soap. It's just good and really not that expensive. I've used Blue Dawn to take old oil stains out of concrete. Many people mentioned Hellmann's mayo, Heinz ketchup, and beans. Kick 'em in soy sauce. Here's one I haven't seen. Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce. Absolutely no substitute. Lee & Perrins makes a great steak sauce as well. It is all I will use. Tampons. I'm a cheap bastard most of the time, but if something's gonna be jammed up my fun hole for hours at a time, it better be of the utmost quality. Same with pads. All the cheap store brand stuff is too cottony and basically adheres to you like a scab. Always or suffer. For real, I once got some crappy off-brand in a pinch and paid a fortune for a tiny box because uni pharmacy. I had no pads with me and needed to replace mine like 10 minutes before. They were absolutely awful. So scratchy and irritated my skin. I'd have fared better with toilet-based undergarment mummification. As much as I hated the waste of money, I threw them in the trash where they belonged. Glad garbage bags. Have bought cheap ones, sucked my body weight in the ass. Dawn dish soap. You use so much less. M&Ms. Knockoffs have the wrong chocolate-to-coating ratio, or their chocolate isn't as good. I like M&Ms, but I also enjoy Smarties. Canadian Smarties, not Rockets, which is what Americans call Smarties. Canadian Smarties. I will always go for Smarties over M&Ms. Also, Crayola crayons, markers, colored pencils. I'm all for the store's private label options in other areas. However, the off-brand art products are crumbly and produce mediocre results. Cheez-Its. Screw you, Cheese Nips. I made that mistake once. Hoi Fong Sriracha. Sriracha isn't trademarked, and some knockoffs even have roosters and Chinese text on the bottle, so you have to know the brand name to find the good one. Earlier this year, there was a shortage, and my parents bought 4 bottles of the fake stuff. Tried it, and it wasn't the same at all. Hoi Fong trademarking Sriracha is like Heinz trademarking the word ketchup. I don't think they can trademark an entire sauce category that they didn't invent. Hoi Fong's founder is from Vietnam. The sauce originated in Thailand. Sriracha got famous, but that's not the only product Hoi Fong makes. They also have sambal olek, which they can't trademark either because it's an Indonesian spicy sauce. Holy balls, this blows up. More fun facts. The third sauce in Hoi Fong's lineup is their chili garlic sauce, also labeled as Tuong Ot Toi Vietnam, translated as Vietnam chili garlic sauce. Basically, they have sauces traced to Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. The chili peppers used in their sauces changed around 2017 when they got into a dispute with the farm that supplied 80 to 90% of their peppers. Some people say they can taste the difference. That ranch, Underwood, now sells its own sriracha, which makes you wonder if it tastes like pre-2017 Hoi Fong products. If you like these hot sauces, I invite you to visit large Asian supermarkets in your area. They usually have an entire aisle filled with dozens of chili pepper products. It can be overwhelming the first time around, so a little research before a visit would be helpful. Americans are lucky that today we have access to chili sauces from entire Asia if we know where to look. It's a good way to expand your culinary experiences, for not much money because sauces are cheap. I love sambal olek and their chili garlic sauce at least as much as their sriracha. Bic lighters, because last time I bought some cheap generic lighters on a 2 for the price of 1 deal at the gas station, one of them blew up when I lightly tossed it onto my coffee table, and the other exploded in my hand, and I don't know how or why I wasn't seriously injured by that. Just dumb luck, I guess. Bic lighters are better quality than the generics, and I've never ever had one explode like that. Exploding lighters is scary AF, and I don't need that kind of excitement in my life. Not sure if you can source them in your area, but Clipper makes some good lighters. They're reusable, easily serviceable, and pretty good quality. Clippers are the perfect middle ground between Zippo and Bic. Refillable, fluid and flint, but still cheap enough that I don't feel bad tossing one. Sharpie, not the dollar store brand Skirple? I thought I imagined Skirple. Kerrygold butter. I always wondered what the American obsession with Kerrygold butter was, but then I saw American butter and instantly understood. Guess we're just lucky that all of our butter is very similar to Kerrygold. If you ever get the chance to, try a good Channel Island Jersey butter. It kicks Kerrygold up and down the street. One of the few perks of living on the Isle of Man is the extremely high quality of dairy products. All kinds. I don't know what ancient witchcraft the Manx dairy producers are into, but the butter and especially the cheese there is just so ridiculously good. Premium brand saltine crackers. All other brands pale in comparison. Off-brands are always stale. Ziploc bags. All the generics I've tried have super crappy seals that are extremely difficult to snap into place, and they are weak as hell, just not the ones with zippers. I want to know it's sealed by mashing the threads together. As somebody with arthritis, I will only buy the ones with zippers. What a lifesaver. Not really a brand name, but I stopped using supermarket bacon after trying it from a butcher. I found generally supermarket bacon shrivels up to a ridiculously small size. I'm guessing they inject it with water to make it weigh more. The bacon I get at the butcher's basically stays the same size and tasted much nicer. I know it's not something everyone can afford, but I eat bacon pretty rarely, so it's a nice treat when I do. I started smoking my own bacon, and it kind of ruined store-bought bacon for me. I started smoking my own bacon, and it kind of ruined tobacco for me. Higher calorie density than cigarettes, though. Post-it notes, and practically anything else made by 3M. 3M is S tier. Basically every product they have is the best version of that product. Except for earplugs. Ticonderoga pencils. All the other ones don't hold up to intense note jotting. Philadelphia cream cheese. The other brands are always gluey. Guar gum or some kind of stabilizing gum that makes them so many more times worse than Philly. Doritos. Making generic Doritos should be a crime. They make generic Doritos? Clancy's does, and they taste so bad. Pop-Tarts. Every other off-brand doesn't even taste similar. I'm a toaster strudel man myself. Pop-Tarts are a passable snack. Toaster strudels are a legit tasty treat. Always night pads. Nothing else can suck up that much blood that quickly. On the other end, pun intended, I prefer original Aquafresh toothpaste in taste over all the others. At the other end, I thought you were gonna say Preparation H. Charmin. I prefer Ultra Soft, but Ultra Strong is suitable. Ultra Soft crumbles. Ultra Strong doesn't, so I get Strong, but I seem to remember another soft Charmin that didn't crumble. Something like a Soft Plus. Yup, Ultra Soft is just begging for a ticket to Dingleberry City. Anything by Newman's Own. I am happy to support their business if their proceeds are helping children and their families, and their pasta sauces and salad dressings are some of the best. During my child's cancer experience, we were invited to a Newman's Own sponsored summer camp, Camp Boggy Creek, subtitled A Camp for the Seriously Ill. At the time, we had no idea it was affiliated with Mr. Newman and his altruistic endeavors. It was a family weekend, so we arrived late on a Friday night and bunked down shortly thereafter. In the morning, we went to the morning revelry mess call. Expecting camp food, we were stunned by the abundance of high-quality food and beverage products. And it didn't stop there. The staff and the facilities were remarkable. The rampant positivity, the experiences they created for these broken kids and families were amazing. That was a decade ago, and it feels like yesterday. What a beautiful man and vision. I am forever in debt to him and the people seeing this through. It's terrible to see so many sick kids in one place, and the next second it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. They're smiling, laughing, hugging. Spend the extra money on Newman's Own if you can. It goes somewhere beyond words. NyQuil knocks me out really good. The generic ones give me a weird half-awake feeling and I hate it. Whoa, I had a really weird trip on NyQuil as a kid, and it sounds similar to this. Maybe it was a generic. I swear, NyQuil gets me to bed in 10 minutes after I'm in bed. The generic one wakes me up multiple times, leaving me feeling half asleep. Dr. Pepper. Have you never had his younger, dumber brother, Mr. Pibb? Hey, Mr. Pibb earns his money. He doesn't need a fancy degree. He's a soda I'd have a drink with. Cheez-Its. The knockoffs always taste like garbage. We are a Cheez-Its family, not a Cheese Nips family. Plastic wrap. It's worth it to buy the name brand because the box doesn't fall apart. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Kirkland? I've been using my same roll for years. Kirkland actually co-brands their plastic wrap. It's actually a stretch-type brand, which is considered one of the best out there. 409 Cleaner. Nothing else works the same. But I've been noticing that Clorox is downplaying 409 in favor of Clorox brand. The amount of shelf space of 409 is shrinking. They also keep changing the label or adding all these different product lines. 409 Plus, 409 Bathroom. No, I just want the regular 409 Cleaner. Console controllers. Anything that isn't official, other than the super high-end competition level crap, is actual crap. Looking at you, Logitech. My only counter-argument to this is that I bought some knockoff GameCube controllers for about $8 each from Amazon, and they're about 70% as good. There's a noticeable drop in quality, but for an $8 controller, it certainly exceeded expectations for a, "Here, little cousin, you can have this one" controller. Dawn fish soap and Gain laundry detergent. Dawn is the only thing that keeps my fish clean. There's always Pine Sol. Sears Tower. I made the mistake of saying Willis Tower to a Chicagoan once. When I was a kid, they decided to change the name of the Sears Tower, and it's like the "is Pluto a planet" argument of Illinoisans my age. Windex. No, the store brand leaves a film. Try Sprayway. I've switched from Windex. I clean windows for a living, and Sprayway is miles better than Windex. We can always tell when a customer uses Windex, but then had to call us because they couldn't get rid of streaks. Coca-Cola. It's a small thing, but the generic colas just don't taste the same. Paper towels. The cheap ones just don't tear right. I used to think this as well, but I found that the Costco paper towels tear better than Bounty. Try them out sometime. Costco's Kirkland signature brand is like cheating for this question. It's generally at least as good as the popular brand. Reynolds Wrap aluminum foil. Heavy duty. It pains me that I discovered heavy duty late in life. Heavy duty should be a life pro tip. Heinz ketchup. The others are too watery. One of the big disappointments in life is opening someone's fridge and finding Hunt's, or God forbid, Red Gold. WD-40. Surprised I haven't seen it here yet. What is a generic of WD-40? As far as I know, it's a pretty unique product. Claussen pickles. I was any kind of pickle guy till a few years ago, Claussen only now. The pickles in the refrigerated section are in a different league compared to the ones that don't need to be refrigerated. Ice cream, frozen dairy dessert is not ice cream, and screw them for sneaking out 0.5 quarts of it so I only get 1.5 quarts of ice cream for the same price. I see your tricks, happening with chips and other food too. Tillamook for the win. If I'm not getting Ben & Jerry's, it's either Bluebell or Tillamook. French's classic yellow mustard and Heinz ketchup. Kraft mac and cheese. I've yet to find an off-brand that tastes right. Annie's. I would argue Annie's is marketed higher quality option versus a generic option. That's not a Safeway brand or anything. Daisy sour cream. Absolutely no substitute will ever be allowed in my house. Sour cream should not contain gelatin. Boar's Head for deli meat and cheese. Not that anything else is bad per se, but nothing else compares. I work in a Publix deli. After having tried most of the Boar's Head products, I really try to push people to buy them over Publix meats and cheeses. There are a few things that you can't really tell the difference between brands, but I love the variety and big flavors of Boar's Head. Honestly, giving out free samples is the best part of my job. Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. The generic just didn't taste the same to me. Cheerios. The generic just are not even close to the same. Otterbox. Those phone cases mean business. I was rather impressed that my mother-in-law killed an Otterbox. I didn't think it could be done. Swingline stapler. If they took my swingline, it'd be the last straw. Burn it to the ground. Q-tips. The stems break and bend in the off-brands. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Other brands vary widely. It's the 2 scoops. It's the sugar embedded on the 2 scoops, let's be real here. Purell hand sanitizer. What, you mean you don't like smelling of bottom shelf liquor after you've sanitized your hands? Yeah, nothing like smelling of off-brand tequila after sanitizing your hands. Campbell's tomato soup. Philadelphia cream cheese. Tried tons of generic brands over the years when money was tight, but they're all funky to me. Now it's the only thing I let myself always splurge on. Kikkoman soy sauce, Lysol, Advil. I'll always go for generic Advil. Mostly every OTC drug is identical when comparing name brand to generic, and I'll save the huge markup. Yep, and even then you gotta look at the prices. The other day I was at the pharmacy, store brand ibuprofen in the 1,000 count bottle was like $36. Right next to it they had 2 500 count bottles for $26. A&W root beer. I will die on this hill. Barks is the way, man, but hey, anything is better than mug. Kraft singles. If I'm going to eat plasticized cheese-adjacent product, it had better be name brand plasticized cheese-adjacent product. Bailey's. It really disappoints me when a restaurant tries to substitute a different brand. You can usually tell just by the color and smell before you even taste it. Most people seem to be throwing out things like food, drink, soaps, etc. consumables, but I'll throw an odd one out there with tools. Always worth spending more for a name brand set of drivers or Allen keys if you happen to need more. Cheaper own brand things in the supermarket just won't last as long, and you'll end up spending more with how often you have to replace them anyway. Hidden Valley Ranch. It's just better. I won't buy any other brand, even though they cost a lot less. All shelf-stable ranch is pure crap. If you're talking about the dust packets you make yourself, I can agree. Saltines. Now this is true. I have a hard time paying $4 for saltine crackers, but the cheaper ones taste stale right out of the box, and I'm one of those weirdos that'll sit and eat crackers and butter all day. Duke's mayonnaise. There are none better. I've heard of Duke's but never had it. We're strictly best foods. Hellmann's. Frank's Red Hot. Nothing else even comes close. Hidden Valley Ranch. They literally invented the stuff. Heinz ketchup. Pretty much all the other ketchup is a jam like you'd put in a PB&J. I was watching Taskmaster last night, an English show, and a comment was made, "It looks like the cheap vinegary ketchup, but it's the opposite in the US, lol. That vinegar ketchup is the premium." White Barn candles. Rather wait till I can afford the really good candles rather than buy the cheap Walmart brand that barely has any scent. Are these what BBW sells? Feminine products. Before I got my IUD, it was always infinity or nothing. Absolute best protection I ever had. Also my toothpaste. Oral care isn't exactly fun, and it's made more difficult by one of my autoimmunes. While from a chemistry standpoint, toothpastes are basically the same. Not so much from a flavor standpoint. I want my crest complete in cinnamon. Gordon fish sticks. Every other fish stick basically melts in the oven. We don't eat them a lot, so it's easy to get them when they go on sale. Legos. Anyone that says that other brands like Mega Bloks are the same are full of crap. Mr. Clean Magic Sponges. Yeah, you can get the 50 million off-brand melamine sponges for 2 cents, but then you have 50 million pieces of crap that fall apart if you look at them. Get the Mr. Clean ones. Cascade Platinum Dishwasher Detergent. I used to use store brands for years. I managed to have a good coupon one time for Cascade and bought it instead. The dishes came out so clean compared to what I used to use, I don't even think about using anything else now. Also paper towels and toilet paper. Northern or Cottonelle, usually for toilet paper. Nearly any brand name paper towel will outperform a generic. Jif Peanut Butter. I tried Sam's Club and Costco generics. Bad idea. Cereal in general. Generic cereal is always smaller, harder, less sugary, or is like eating milk-soaked cardboard. Work gear, particularly pants and work boots. Carhartt and Red Wings all the way. Over-the-counter medicine, Advil, NyQuil, and Vicks products have always been reliable for me, and I have no reason to switch to anything else. Synthroid. It's a thyroid replacement hormone, and generic doesn't work for everyone. But it's always a fight because insurance companies refuse to pay for brand name, and they insist on you taking the generic even though doctors and pharmacists will tell you that the generic version sucks and doesn't work for many people. I don't like feeling tired and having my hair fall out, so I will stick with the brand name. Lay's potato chips, especially the salt and vinegar. No one's salt and vinegar tastes as good as Lay's. Tampax. Downstairs is not the place to go cheap. Pop-Tarts. No generic toaster pastry comes close. Rao's pasta sauce. It's the only sauce I buy anymore. The price is high, so I always make sure to save as much leftover as possible. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs. Yeah, I know, but I love them. Head and Shoulders. The store brand doesn't work as well for my hair. Any type of cereal. Frosted mini spooners go hard though. I saw a meme years ago pointing out that all the Maltameal cereal names sound like euphemisms for homosexual men, and I can't unsee it when I'm in the breakfast aisle now. Nutella. Please try Milka. It's without palm oil and even better. I'll die on this mountain. Golden spicy brown mustard. Febreze. I've tried everything else. Nothing can remove stench or smell better than the products they sell. Royal Purple Engine Oil. I'll never use different oil for a medium to high performance motor vehicle. I'll die on this hill. If you own a vehicle that hauls, tows, or you are just heavy on the pedals because it's fun to drive, look into Royal Purple. Bluebell Ice Cream. Nothing compares, even though it has some artificial ingredients, it's simply the best. I used to probably place it the highest, but Tillamook blows it out of the water for me. Even just Tillamook's plain old-fashioned vanilla. I literally can just eat it by itself, which I never really wanted to do with Bluebell's plain vanilla. Cream of chicken soup. I use it for pot roast. Generic always tastes like the can. I make pork chops, slow cooked in cream of mushroom a lot. Insane how expensive Campbell's cream of mushroom soup is, but you are absolutely right. Generic will ruin a good dinner. Microsoft Office. Interesting take. For business, definitely. At home, Google Docs is good enough for writing whatever is needed. As someone with learning disabilities, Microsoft Office has better spelling and grammar checks. Levi's. Not anymore. They've cheapened themselves out of selling to me. Mostly these days for jeans, I get the All-American Clothing Company, made in USA by union workers. High quality for basically the same price. I would buy All-American jeans if they had a rigid option. I'm currently rocking some peonies I got from the clearance section at Target. I had a pair of made in USA Levi's about 5 years ago, white oak Cone Mills denim. They were rigid, shrink to fit. Levi's quit making them in 2017 after Cone Mills shut down their last USA production facility. If you didn't wash them, they were rough. You could light a match off of them like in the old Warner cartoons. And I did. The old white oak looms are now in Vidalia, Louisiana, producing that old-fashioned selvage denim that I grew up with. Several boutique jean makers use Vidalia denim. They'll cost you nearly $200 a pair because they're made to order. Thanks for watching until the end. If you'd like to share a product that you will never buy a generic for, feel free to do so in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you know when we upload our next video. There's lots more awesome videos like this one on the channel, so stop by and check out the next one you want to watch. Thanks again, and see you next time.